And then flicks the front camera.
She just downloads the Periscope app and then follows. She can look for cameras out.
Okay, so welcome to Huntingdonshire Business Network. We're in the library, or we're in the museum. We're in the Norris Museum in St Ives. So this is an informal meeting during our summer break. Chris Thomas, who's in charge of the production here, he's resetting the screen, has invited us to the Norris Museum, and we're down the end. They've hidden us away from the public, and we've got our this is our informal HBN meeting. So HBN is Huntingdonshire Business Network, and on the screen we've got Chris. Do you want to say hello, Chris?
Hello.
And
Chris.
And we've got Luana.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Luana. And me as well. I'll come round in a second. So let's see if I can squeeze in.
We can do, but then we won't be able to read the comments, will we?
Yeah, well, I can maybe sort of, let's see how I can do it.
It's going to be very cosy.
We have a logistical challenge.
Well, challenges are to be overcome, aren't they? There we go, that's me. Hi. I'm the comment reader, so I hope you're going to enjoy
I'm the
this.
biscuit tester today.
Yeah, there we go. So I'll just sort of pop in and say hi. I'll point to the people as we get to them.
Yeah. We're all midgets. It's only Richard who is life size.
Okay, so this is we're in St Ives. We're in the Norris Museum in St Ives. It's Huntingdonshire Business Network. It's we have our meetings normally 12:30 to 2:30 every Friday. We're actually on break at the moment, so we're just meeting informally at the Norris Museum. And Chris here is our host. So Chris, do you want to tell us a bit about what we're doing?
Sorry, what about that? I get distracted by
Where we are and what we're doing.
Richard, are you under, is it now Cam Tower, this would be founder?
No, just on Periscope, look for HBN.
Just look for Richard.
So we're trying to make sure that one of the other members wants to contact his wife because he's going to his partner because he's going to reveal some incriminating information on our meeting. Now we're here at the Norris Museum, which is the Museum of Huntingdonshire, and the reason we've got a whole art exhibit behind us, we're in the small exhibition room, and these are actually pictures from one of the schools that are being exhibited. But I volunteer here, and we were having informal meetings.
We've got some hearts there, Chris. People are beginning
So
to
we're
respond.
hoping. There's probably Rita. So
How old were the children? What age?
the children, I think they're GCSE, aren't they? So fantastic. It's amazing work that they're doing, isn't it?
You've got the app on, and it's not doing it.
Oh, come sit down. Come sit down.
I'm going to be sitting.
Just trying to sort out the technology. So where have we got to?
We definitely
We have the app.
You have the app. Good.
What we don't know is how to find this broadcast. Have you downloaded it? Oh,
Yeah. Open it.
Oh, you've got the app. Which one does she want? There's more than one app.
Periscope.
Periscope
And it looks
with a little
like
sign, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like a sign which has got a.
It's a little blue circle. Teardrop.
Just like that. It's a blue circle with a
It's a blue circle with
white oval and a round. Looks like an eye, isn't it?
yeah. The app symbol is a blue circle with a red dot in the middle and a white ring around the red dot at the bottom of which is
The giant approaches.
and it's just called Periscope.
So this is the HBN crew on the Periscope. Hope you're enjoying this. It's a bit of midsummer experimentation.
What's the full title of it?
It's just called Periscope.
Or HBN at the museum.
No. She's got the app. Hold on, I'm going to play.com. Is she on an iPhone?
She's on an iPhone and an iPad.
Okay, Luana, I'll tell you what. So we've got an audience waiting here. Luana, do you want to tell us about you and your business and what you do while Chris and are?
Okay. Well, my business is called Get Online, Get Found and Get Clients. And I work with budget-conscious non-techies who, what are you making signs for me?
Speak up.
How do you know that you can't hear me?
Well, it's just that from distance you've got to.
Oh,
okay. We're a bit farther away.
If I shout, I don't think that he is.
Shout.
It should
I work with budget conscious, non-techies, and I help them to get online quickly and easily without breaking the bank or bursting a head gasket. I keep it
It's
simple.
not the symbol.
Yeah.
Symbol
Just so
is
they can have a
concentric
complete marketing
area
plan.
of round, but with the white bit being
Learning things they don't need to know.
at the bottom.
I give them enough.
Well, it's really important, isn't it? That I do quite a lot of technical stuff, but when I start talking to people, the eyes sort of glaze over. You need somebody to be able to talk to them in their own language, don't you?
And I use a system which means that you can have a site uploaded and ready to go with landing pages, opt-ins, etc. But you still have the benefit of adapting it to your own personal style at a later stage. And it means then you can have all your advertising actually bring you results because one thing leads to another, everything is connected to itself.
Excellent. Good. Chris, do you want to have a go now?
My name is Chris Thomas. My company is Milton Contact Limited, and we help local authors who want to publish their books. So we've published up to 23 books so far, and we help you right from the initial manuscript through to getting it formatted and prepared into a beautiful book that you would be happy to have on any bookshelf. And the idea then is that you can take these and you can sell them to your friends, to your relatives, or to your other business colleagues, perhaps for a course or training thing that you're doing.
So how many books now, Chris?
We've done about 23. There's more because, of course, some of them are print versions and ebook versions. So it's a bit more than that.
Excellent.
Some book can be three different versions of that.
Okay. Give Chris a thumbs up. Now we're over to Nick.
We're still back in the technology. I'm Nick Smith, EAM Consulting, which is Evaluation, Assessment and Measurement. I specialise in helping businesses to align their training with the business objectives so they get more bang for their buck when spending money on training, and help them measure how much of a bang they get if they wish to do that.
Okay, excellent. And your big thing at the moment is you were off on your travels, weren't you?
Oh yes, there's just been charging around doing a number of assessments. I designed an assessment process some years ago for a society, and the number of candidates over the last 2 years has been significantly higher, so that's been keeping me very busy as well. But thankfully it's a quiet period over the summer, so I can enjoy HBN.
Good, excellent, good.
And learn some new skills.
Shall we give Nick the thumbs up?
Are we getting hearts? I want to see some
How
hearts.
many audience have we got? Anyone know?
Two.
But that's a bit misleading. That's a bit misleading because what happens? Let me come around in front of the camera. Excuse me. Take Chris's chair for a minute. Just like that. So the numbers are a little bit misleading because what you get on the screen is just the people at that instant. You'll get people joining and leaving the scope over time, and then the scope itself is live on Periscope for 24 hours after that. So you get people on the scope, live on the scope, watching the replay. So I'm Richard Wisher. I'm an enterprise architect. I work in cloud things. At that stage, most people's eyes glaze over. But HBN is good for me because I work from home. I run my own business, and HBN gives me a bit of a reset on a Friday. It will help me think about. I had a pretty shitty day. I say, hey, I've had a really bad week. And then you'll say, well, cheer up, Richard. You should think about doing this next week. So HBN gives me a bit of a reset at the end of each week. So this is the HBN team. Are you in?
I'm just looming. That's all right.
Looking or looming?
Let me move back right here to see if I get any comments. So this is a bit of experimentation, I guess. Chris is broadcast live.
Yep.
Luana has listened live.
Oh yes, I listened live.
But have you broadcast?
No. I'm still debating, dare I say, the worth of it.
Yeah.
And to know how I would use it.
I think that's the interesting thing is how would you actually use Periscope as part of your business.
Yeah.
I think the conclusion I came to was if you've got a spontaneous live thing going on, then that's the time that you want to do it.
Yes.
Whereas if you've got something where, like a Nets video needed a lot
Yes.
of preparation,
Yes.
you want to have a more formal structure. But it's amazing what people do on Periscope.
I think Richard's idea of then putting it on YouTube, and definitely when I do it, I will put it onto the website.
Yeah, yes.
It's just to make the most use of it.
Yes, it is.
Well, I think what the big thing for me is trying to get. I've been doing social media for a long time. I've built quite a lot of large But social media is still, you write something, and then sometime later someone responds to it, and you start a conversation going. And conversations are really good, but it's quite slow. It's all in text.
Yeah.
It's not really video.
No.
Video you can do, but it's all set piece. Doing this video for social media, you do the video and then you put it up on social media. Actually, doing this is almost instant. It's using a Twitter-style audience with that sort of level of engagement and that sort of speed of engagement, but you're doing it by video. So if you listen to someone several times and they listen to you, you get to know the people in the same way as we know each other in HBN. I've now got friends on Periscope that I would never have had apart from. So it's the level of engagement has just gone up that notch. So it's actually disruptive, and other social media platforms will have to respond to that.
I think the thing, what I'm hoping for actually is that Google is going to respond to it. Either that, or that Periscope brings in the wider lateral format. Because this works very nicely on the mobile phones.
Yes.
Working on the tablet. But if you are watching it on Google, you'll see it in the landscape format with a narrow field. And I as a photographer and as someone who does video, I'd like to see the highest resolution come out. I think that'll come.
Well, they're playing with it actually.
So talking about it, was it
if you look at on your PC, if you look at periscope.tv /couch mode, COUCHMODE, that will give you the global stream of scopes that are coming out, and you can flick between them. But if someone goes landscape, you'll see it full screen on your television. So they've actually done it, but they haven't made it public. They haven't shown it public, or they haven't worked out how to combine the two, landscape and form and portrait.
I think the other thing would be, sorry.
No, I was just going to say this kind of format as well for me, where there would be more than one person and some conversation.
Yeah, I think that's
would be
what works.
a much more interesting way for me to do it, because then you could have lots of things bouncing off. You can have your own little TV show, couldn't you?
Yes,
Bring up your topics and discuss, and I think that would be interesting.
And that again is where the landscape format is going to be good, because we're all crumps. It's very cozy. Fortunately, you watched this morning. Did I?
We would have told you just by moving slightly to your
That's very good. But I mean, the other risk is that we just keep on talking about Periscope, and Periscope again, it's just a circular thing. And perhaps one of the other things to ask then is, we normally talk about just things that happen to us during the week, an HBN or sort of issues that we've got writing at the moment. But you've got an interesting project trying to do your house. So where have you got with that?
Well, talk about disruption, business disruption. I've moved offices within the house again this week.
Right.
Yeah, so
Now in the kitchen section.
out of bedroom 3 and into the dining room temporarily while the decorating of the floor gets done in bedroom 3, make it properly an office, and then back again. So, yes.
What have you
She's
found?
well,
She's watching us on the
Then
iPhone.
you should say something
Hi.
immediately.
Hello, Francis.
Welcome to the HBN.
Hello, Francis. Welcome to HBN.
These are the strange people that he hangs out with on a Friday.
Now, Nick was just about to tell us a really interesting story. So over to
Francis, I'll tell you that is not true.
Indeed not. There is about the move of the office, which is causing chaos again. But it provides a good opportunity to A, refresh my memory of what's in the library, and B, cover something. Because one just accumulates paper.
Oh, I said that earlier.
Yeah.
Paper is the bane of my life. And I'm a terrible admin person. Filing is atrocious.
It was one former HBN member, Gareth Powell, who used to photocopy all his stuff and have it stored digitally, which I thought was very well organised, which I'm just not on that front. But then space saving.
Find it, doesn't it?
No, but you can then, because what happens is if you scan things in and their optical character recognition, you can then search on word terms. So you can search on heading, search the name. You say, oh no, I remember I wrote a report or something like
That's
that.
what I was trying to do this morning.
Yes. You can look at the discipline drive is important, but you can get a discipline to do it.
I had to get emails to print the other way around, so everything was there, but finding that email in among schools 25, and it had buried them in because it decided to attach them all, and then I'm having to print them out.
So I had a good one this week and last week on a really simple thing, but newspaper.
Right.
So there's two newspapers locally that I look at. One's the Cambridge Evening News and the other one's the Hunt's Post. So the Hunt's Post is now you can go online, go to their website, and you can sign up for the electronic edition. So you get the electronic edition downloaded to you.
Okay.
You don't need the paper one. So I threw the paper one away when it came in. And then I said, well, where's the paper? And I said, it's gone.
That's the good trouble doing that.
The electronic. So now I downloaded the electronic version for her. I've got it set up on that. So now when she's on the bus, she can be reading the paper on a tablet.
I still prefer the physical copies of certain things.
And then Cambridge Evening News, which is the other one, it tells you at 5 o'clock that your paper is ready. And then you can download the Cambridge Evening News and look through the Cambridge Evening News in the same way. So I don't need physical paper anymore.
However, the Cambridge Evening News, I mean, they have regular articles that crop up on your media feed or whatever. This, do you want just Jaffa cake, last Jaffa cake, quick,
They
get in there, quick.
deliberately did that by turning it upside down.
But last week we had the editor of the Ramsey and War Boys paper that had just launched. So he just launched a paper for that area. And when I came home, I looked online on his thing. It says we're online as well. So I went online, looked at his paper, looked through it, flicked through it, found an advert from Don Cross, who's one of our members, in the paper. Downloaded that page as a PDF and emailed it to him. So
Why just email the link?
I just send the advert. But isn't that clever?
Yeah.
So suddenly you've got a resource now where you don't need to be, you can be eco-friendly. You don't have to be buying physical papers or getting free papers distributed. You can use the electronic version and you can modify and use it for your benefit.
But it is strange, this thing. I mean, I like to have the Kindle if I'm hanging around or reading something, or if it's something that's not too important to read, it's actually easier to do on the Kindle. You can store it file it there. But when I'm sitting down, I do like to have a magazine. So I get the New Scientist magazine. I like to actually have that physical aspect of flicking through. There's a tactile. The tactile thing.
I remember I saw something recently about the world's going back to tactile.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
People have enough of it all, but ephemeral.
I also like the Kindle from traveling. It's great because then you're not lugging books around.
Yes.
But if I were to think that my library would disappear,
Oh, that'd be interesting.
I hate it.
Yes.
I wouldn't know where to begin.
There's a really interesting one. It made me think there was a guy online called Chris Marr, who I'd recommend. He's a digital content guy. He's from Scotland, so he's one of my Kerry Scots.
Yeah.
And he was doing a late night review of some initiative during the day, and he was just wanting to have a chat with people about it like we're doing now.
Yeah.
And his issue was that how do you deal with negative people? So how positive people, negative people, how do you deal with negative people?
Yeah.
So he was sitting in his office late at night, it's about 11 o'clock, he had Perry Scott's on, so there's about 10 of us on listening to his problem.
Don't wash your hands.
And he was analysing the problem by looking at his bookshelf.
All right.
So he was saying, this self-help book is quite interesting, and this one's quite interesting. So he actually got about 10 self-help books about how to deal with negative people onto the desk, and he was asking people what he thought about that. And that fazed me a bit, because I don't use books. I don't have a library of self-help books.
I have all of my books. I've got duplicates on, like maybe on Kindle or e-readers, but I would never.
Oh, that's sacrilege.
Yeah.
Not having it.
But
My wife is like that. She'd like to have one or two books in the house, but she's not. Whereas I don't make it without having
To
it.
take a book and actually look for the thing, it's. You might want to read a piece of it, and you almost know where it is. It's something very.
well, he had it all indexed. He had the content inside the books.
Oh, is
all
it?
indexed, so it's that sort of into his book, which is fine. I mean, that's good, but it's different source for different folks.
Anybody want another tea or coffee?
Oh, mine.
So you have a coffee with black with sugar.
One sugar.
You're having a tea, no sugar.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you need help?
No, I'm not.
I just wish I could.
I've told people it's okay to come and wander around and have a look around.
Just tell them they're going to be on TV. Have to get their written permission to be on.
But Chris Marr's one was quite interesting. That he was really fazed by this. There was a guy on social media, you know, get these social media commentators, he was talking about Periscope, and he came up and he said, "I don't like Periscope," and he did a big rant to his audience, which is a very big audience, saying that he didn't like Periscope. And Chris, who had been following him, actually quite liked some of his views, was quite shaken by this. So and he was thinking he was just being a bit negative.
He could have been doing it purely to be controversial.
Yeah, it could be.
And get a reaction, because as I said, you've got to have an enemy, and then you've got people on your side, so good marketing.
But this is upset Chris. You know, he got this on his mind that one of his gurus, in particular of the tree, had said something contrary to
I think with anything like that, it's the whole point is everyone can have an opinion. They don't have to make it yours. They're entitled to it. They can keep it. And you should never let anything exterior affect you. I think that's always the thing. So you just have to know that. Even if it's criticism, you can look at the criticism. You can examine it a little, take on board if there's any truth in it, and then just let it go.
Well, I think this was the thing for me, that when you're talking about how to deal with negative and positive people, I think it hadn't occurred to me as being an issue, because I surround myself with positive people.
As well.
I make a choice. I don't engage that well with negative people, so I engage better with positive people. And you try and build that and surround yourself with those sort of.
I just thought kettle on session as well.
So negative and positive people, Chris. How do you deal with negative people?
Avoid them if possible. It's interesting because I know in places where I've worked within companies, just having one negative person in there can have such a dramatic.
Sucks the energy.
I just think the suck is a good thing. It drains everything.
Now, there are two aspects to that. There is obviously the situation where that person has got a reason why they're upset, or they're annoyed, or they're not being managed properly. So you do need to address those issues and see whether there's anything behind that that you can help with, and then bring them back to a more balanced, safe feeling within work. But there are occasionally individuals where you just think the company is better without them, quite frankly.
It's a way of thinking. I think that I would like to see more done in schools to give youngsters coping skills, if you will.
Yes.
Because people don't realise that they have a choice.
And especially with the stresses that they're under.
Yes, definitely. And I think it's a way of thinking, and often people don't realise they can switch it. It's like having a garden, and you'll get people who will focus on every weed and miss every flower.
It's a habit.
And it's a habit, that's it. And just training people to lift up their gaze.
Positive attitude.
However, there is there have been studies, and there is a genetic component in that some people are more the glass is half empty, and that people the glass is half full. And so there is a spectrum there. It is working within the
Do you not think it's the chicken and the egg syndrome here? Because your thoughts affect your chemicals, and your chemicals affect your thoughts. So it's figuring out which came first in that circle of negativity.
Not especially. I mean, I'm a very positive person. I tend to see everything in a very, very positive light. And you can adjust people's responses to a certain thing, but there will be individuals that I know who will. The tendency will be to react negatively and then correct positively, whereas I will react positively and then it might be corrected back negatively if something really grim happens on that. It's looking.
I think there's an issue of there's a thing that's it's not negative, but it's positive, and it's critique. So what's actually quite good about HBN is that if you come with an idea, you can put up an idea to be positively critiqued.
Yes.
But that's not negative. That's actually positive. That's doing it that positive.
That's a very valid point in terms of what you were saying. And at Toastmasters, which I was chairing actually, the Toastmasters evening on Wednesday, and the idea there is that you for example give a talk or a presentation, and then you have an evaluation. And the way that the evaluation is given is that it looks at what is positive about the talk that you've given, and then things that you could do next time around that would make it even better. So it's giving you that critique, but in a way that you can accept it.
Yes.
Because I certainly, I don't know how you are, but I do react to criticism.
especially if you thought it was a really good idea, and then somebody would take the legs out from under and say,
Oh,
"Oh,
it's
that's
absolute
stupid."
rubbish.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody enjoys that. And it's also, it doesn't help, because you stay with Toastmasters, if they actually give you things that you can do, actual points from people you know, you've got something to work with, as opposed to just, oh, well, that's stupid. I mean, where does anybody go from that?
Well, it's
It does get constructive. It's coaching skills, isn't it?
I've got places again. I'll go make I think I'm feeding more by now. Did you want some other drink, Richard?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yes, there is a money spot.
Yours is white coffee with sugar.
Around there.
So somebody did say, I never remember who says these things, that a person who is positive will tend to look at a situation and look at it as if something bad happens, then it's not going to last for long. Whereas a person who's got a negative bias will tend to think that this is it now for an extended period of time. So they forecast out.
I mean, I think it is. There's certainly something about age in it as well, and age and experience. That, quite honestly, when I was younger, when I was very young, I probably would have taken a longer term view. But now I know what's the worst that can happen. You know, what is the worst that can happen if you actually, if you're not doing something correct, you can correct it, and you can then move back onto course. So it's not going to be a lifetime damning by doing something wrong or not getting something right. You can change it. You can flip back, or you can move.
That's another thing from school, because children are not taught that it's okay to make mistakes. And I actually met someone who taught, I think she was teaching 5-year-olds, and in her particular class she had a scheme whereby they were encouraged to have 3 stars for 3 mistakes a day. If they didn't get the 3 stars for making a mistake, it meant they weren't learning something. So they actually were happy about making a mistake because they knew they were in the process of getting better. She actually switched the whole thing around, which I thought was fantastic.
Well, it's like doing Periscope. And lots of people, you look at the demographics, I think, on Periscope, something like, my view is it's something like 5% of people on Periscope are broadcasting. About 95 are listening.
Yes.
Not the 95 that are listening, only about 25 are actually commenting or engaging. But to actually move to that next stage where you're broadcasting, if you're broadcasting on Periscope and you make an absolute mess of it, what's the worst that can happen?
Yes.
It dies naturally in 24 hours. Probably if no one's listening to you, it's not going to make any difference. So why not try it?
Yes.
And if it doesn't work, if it fails, so what? You've learned something from the experience.
Yes.
So it's good.
So did we see if anybody's out there, we'd like to see some hearts, please, because I want to know what happens on that screen when there are some hearts.
Yeah, let's see some
when
hearts.
Richard was on.
I think we've got quite a number of people on now.
Okay, tap away, people. We want to see hearts.
We're in double digits. I need to get my screen.
Where did the hearts be?
The hearts will come up from the right-hand side.
Right, we know who you are. We can check. Without tapping that screen.
So to provide your heart, just to let us know that we're not talking to an empty room.
I talked to myself all day, but when I did think today, it would be different.
If you just tap on the screen, the hearts will come up. This isn't.
Somebody said something. I can't read. I don't have my glasses.
We've got a comment come up.
Can you read that?
Not this way.
Not this way. So we need Periscope vision.
Comments gone away.
Whoever made a comment, I'll assume it's good. Thank you.
It doesn't stay for very long.
And you will never know now.
Watch the recording to find out what the comment was.
Maybe they asked, how do you make the hearts come up? Because I still don't see any. You keep tapping the screen.
Yes, so just
Come on.
tap.
Send some love, people.
Send some love. Multiple hearts.
If it was Oprah, you'd send love.
It's the hearts thing's quite good. It's almost like a heartbeat. When you're doing a thing just to make sure there's some life behind the camera. But it's a bit worrying that we're actually in the museum at the moment, so there could be some spooky stuff happening around here. And that's why
There's some hearts coming up.
Oh yes, there we go. Excellent. Great. So we've got some
Thank you.
green hearts.
Oh, lovely.
Excellent. Good.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Well, what I'll do when I get home, I'll take the what happens is that this is on an Android phone, so it saves it not to the camera roll, which is iOS, it sends it to photos. So I've got video in my photos, and I'll then upload that to YouTube, and then I'll then put that on LinkedIn and Google+.
Richard, you have to see what these comments are. Can you go closer? Because I haven't got my glasses.
can now read comments. I'm nice and close. So we have.
We had some hearts.
Did we? Oh,
We
lovely.
did have some hearts.
That's yours.
Oh,
That's
thank
yours.
you.
Did you see
Oh, we got some more. We got some more. Good.
There is
Excellent.
somebody out there.
Thank you.
Cheers. Whoever that is.
Anyway, shall we bring it to a close now? I think we probably. Yes.
Someone just about to be measured for a suit.
Yes. It's actually for the stone sarcophagus outside. We need a new residence, don't we?
I can get signed copies of them. Normally they're £5, but I can get signed copies from the author for £6. Only a
Yeah.
pound more.
I thought you said 50p.
Come on. Then. Come on, then, Chris. A bit of promotion on you first.
All right. This is, we're in the Norris Museum, and I ran an exhibition for the Norris Museum on mammoths. And as part of the research, I wrote a book called Marvellous Mammoths.
So there we go. Marvellous Mammoths by Chris Thomas.
That's my mother.
Excuse me. So it's available for £5.
Good. Excellent.
So anyway,
So
yeah, that's good.
I think that was a good periscope. I hope it was useful for you people watching. As I say, we're going to take it up and put it on YouTube and put it out on LinkedIn, Google+. On LinkedIn, you'll see it on the Huntingdonshire Business Network LinkedIn group. Okay?
And we might have a daytime slot.
And Lorana, who's our Facebook expert, might put that up on Facebook as well.
I'm not a Facebook expert.
So you
but
want Lorana, okay.
Yeah, there we are.
Good, okay. So thanks very much. Thanks for listening. Hope you have a pleasant rest of the day.
Thanks